Looks like we are good. Nice. Hello. Welcome back to Sideline Lounge. I'm your host, Joseph Fasabeto. And currently right now it is 11:30 at night on Tuesday. So essentially this is just a few hours after I recorded the Dallas trading up video that was posted on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Essentially what I'm going to be doing is that I want to entertain that idea and see what I was trying to talk about in that video, maybe in a little bit more detailed. However, this is something that I would entertain, especially heading to the draft, which is next week, which is insane to me. So let's quickly go through, I say, potentially three scenarios. We're going to entertain the Titans. That's one. The the Browns two, and then Dallas staying at 12 and 20. So let's start off with 12 and 20. It is such an interesting thing because I don't know what's going to happen. Does Dallas trade up? Do they stay or do they even trade back? Do they like a prospect so much at 12 that they're willing to stay? But let's just go ahead. We're going to do 4 rounds of the three scenarios and everything. I think this is something I want to do, especially with other friends of different teams. For example, if you don't notice, if you haven't noticed, the big old star behind me, I am a Dallas Cowboys fan. So it's just so much media. It's just covering my team and everything. So I'm able to get on it really quickly like that. And I'm trying to be unbiased as possible, but I'm just also trying to keep my perspective not only as a fan of my team, but a fan of the game. So we're gonna go through it, and that's also the reason why I want to cover other teams as well. Hopefully we could get that before the draft day. But yeah, let's do this real quick. So we're gonna do 4 rounds. We're gonna use the athletic. I feel like the Athletic is probably better than PFF, so I trust them a lot. So let's start it. So we're already 2 minutes in. So assuming that Dallas stays at 12, this is what happens. They're wiped out. You have Jamal McCoy still available. You have Kendrick Falk. I mean, I could see why Dallas would go Kendrick Falk here at 12, and I know a lot of people wouldn't. Like I know a lot of fans, especially Cowboy fans, hate Kendrick Falk because he's more of a run stopping defensive end and he'll fit as a 4-eye 5 tech. It's just, why not make your strength into a superpower? You know, his pass rush can always improve, but that run stopping ability can always be there. For example, Donovan Ezraku. I'm expecting him to jump up, especially with Brandon T. Jordan being officially the Dallas Cowboys pass rusher consultant and everything like that. He's also helped with Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, Arvell Reese, Ruben Bain, David Bailey. Like, man, he's helped out with a lot of these edge players heading into the draft. So I wouldn't be surprised if Kendrick Falk makes a big jump, especially in a pass rush. So we're gonna go Kendrick Falk at 12. I know a lot of people would be really upset with that. I'm not doing any trades in this 12-20 kind of range. And then here we go. Jordan Tyson's still available. Omar Cooper is still available. Emmanuel McNeil Warren is still available. I would have taken Chris Johnson. I actually think I'm gonna just redo that pick. We're resume that. There we go. That purposely, I think I want to take Chris Johnson. If you know, of course, without me doing undoing that pick, but I think Chris Johnson would also be a play at 20. Peter Strager also said Peter Strager, Jordan Reed. I think a lot of media reporters also came out and said, like, yeah, I expect Chris Johnson to be the third cornerback off the board, and it's going to be in the first round, and he's behind Master Delane, Jamal McCoy, and then of course, Chris Johnson is your corner three. Now at 92. Jalen Farmer was a really good pickup for the Bills. Jenna Kilgore was also good. Garrett Newsmeyer was also good. But I think a safety that I've always loved and I've always drafted, and even if he wasn't here, I would have looked at linebacker. But honestly, this is probably it's either it's either Zakee Whitley or Harold Perkins. I think I'm gonna go Zakee Wheatley, and then I'll just grab a linebacker at 4, and then that's just what Dallas just has to deal with, especially for the first 4 rounds. I think I'm satisfied with these 4. I can't complain about that. officially affects everything that we need. I mean, heck yeah. I mean, Harold Perkins was in a very confusing LSU defense last year. His role was kind of all over the place. I could see him being more of an outside linebacker guy, but then he has that energy of an outside linebacker guy. But if you put him the inside, he's essentially the Marvion Overshown. So I wouldn't mind having two demos in the middle of the field. But yeah, no, I think this is something that I wouldn't be mind. I wouldn't be upset about. I understand, but now this is where it gets really interesting. Dallas trading up to 4. I think this is where everything starts to get entertaining. I think in my video I said 12, 24 for 466, 101, and 142. I won't be able to draft at 142 because that's a fifth round pick. But essentially, it's two first rounders for a, a top 4 pick, a third round pick, a fourth, and a fifth. And honestly, I could see Dallas being like, they have a lot of prospects that they really enjoy that 4 or 5 range. So I guess we'll see what happens, but let's just move on ahead. You can't really see it, but it's a 50-50. The total value offered is 616 to 616. So we're gonna confirm this. We're gonna see how the board falls and everything like that. So Fernando Mendoza or Valerian Love. Okay, sweet. So um I realized, so in my reel, I said Sonny Styles to Caleb Downs. However, reports are believing that it might actually be David Bailey and Caleb Downs. And the problem is that which one do you draft? Um, I think David Bailey is the consensus number one edge, but I also think that a Caleb Downs is just a prototype for Christian Parker's scheme. He is a hybrid safety, hybrid nickel. He could be your box. Like, he could do everything. He can even play one high. And you watch the film from Alabama and Ohio State. Goodness, man, I just can't really pass up Caleb Downs here. So I am going to entertain the idea of Caleb Downs at 4, and that's going to be record breaking. It's been minutes since the last time we seen the league draft a safety at such a high position. But goodness gracious, like, but then look at this. Now, at 66, you still got players. You got pawns. This is a nickel. You have an edge. You could probably find another linebacker for example, Kyle Lewis, and that's probably going to be my pick. I'm going to take Kyle Lewis, a linebacker. I know. I think like for me personally, it goes Sonny Styles, Anthony Hell, Jacob Rodriguez, Kyle Lewis, and Josiah Trotter. So, I wouldn't mind getting Kyle Lewis because that's a top 5 linebacker for majority of the time. And look, like, there's still a lot of players here. I would have preferred Chandler Rivers and Malik Muhammad, but oh well. Things happen like that for sure. Let me rearrange that. So let's look. Joshua Joseph is still here. Kamara Ramsey is still there. Julian Neal, Dylan Everett, Tyler Onyedem. As much as I like really find it funny because like I know a lot of people have been hating on Michigan edge rushers. Barham is the best edge rusher coming from Michigan. I think he's better than Moore. But edge rushers like look for example, but there's still other names that I would be looking at. LC Overton, Max Llewellyn, Nadami Tucker, and Mason Rager are all guys that I'd be looking for. So I think for the sake, what is it, 92? Oh, it's still early, you see. So I say we best get the best defensive player. It's either Everett. I don't think I wouldn't mind Everett. It's just that like, and again, like, it's just combine though. Mm, like that's the problem. Okay, I think I picked 92. Caleb Downs, Kyle Lewis. You already got your guys. What if you just double down? What if you go get Harold Perkins? Jakee Wheatley's gone. There's no point. I'm gonna go get Harold Perkins. He's gonna be my hybrid guy at linebacker, and then I'm just gonna get LT Overton here at 101. Oh, Tyler Odinium, and then corner potentially Willie Takario Davis. I genuinely believe that I think corner is something that we want, but I think it's just going to be most of the nickel. But then if you get Caleb Downs, then you don't really need a nickel. So that that entertains my idea. What if Dallas like drafts like for example an Andre Fuller? Like they draft somebody from Toledo. They draft Ephesians Price. They draft Thaddeus Dixon. You know, like I wouldn't be surprised if they do that. And then here they grab their edge and look, you got players LT Overton, Anthony Lucas, Max Lewin, and Adami Tucker. I I don't know how they're gonna rank it. I know LT Overton just got a top 30 visit with Dallas, so I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to go there. But I think I mean the sleeper pick for me at 112, Nadami Tucker is phenomenal. LT Overton is also phenomenal. But if I were to rank these guys, I think I say Tucker, Llewellyn, Overton, Lucas, and the Rager. Or maybe I got that mismatch, but I just know that Nadami Tucker is my favorite edge to draft at 112. Oh, look, an F at is it because of a reach? That's insane. Okay. But we move on. So we got one more. It's already 12 minutes in, so we're gonna keep it really short for you guys and everything like that. But I think this is now my favorite combination to draft with, to mock with. I can really see Dallas drafting at 6, you get the player that the Giants passed up on. Like for example, David Bailey could be here. Caleb Towns could be here. Like we're gonna let the mock draft do its thing, and I want to see what we could do. There, you see, look, you go Fernando Mendoza, Arvell Reese, David Bailey, Sonny Styles, Jeremiah Love. Jeremiah Love is insane. So essentially, I have Caleb Downs, Spencer Delane still available, Ruben Bain still available, but I think I'm gonna grab Caleb Downs again. You can't, I can't, I can't do that. Not that much. Holy smokes! Chris Johnson is still available. There's genuinely no way, right? If he's still on the board, I might. I mean, I might as well make my like Jake Golday's still. Oh, Jake Golday's like here, like that's something I'll have to bank on because at 92, such a long way. Like you're, you probably could have a Bud Clark, you could have a Malik Muhammad here, but I think a lot of prospects that Dallas likes are in that second round, third round pick, and dang it, I mean, I love Caleb Downs. He's already there. Chris Johnson could possibly be the Deron Bland replacement. But as I was mentioning earlier in the video, Chris Johnson could be a first round pick and could very well be gone. I'm gonna rule him out. I think this is where Dallas goes Jacob Rodriguez. And I also wouldn't mind Anthony Hill Jr. I want a secure tackler. I mean, 6'2", 240. My goodness, man. But the combine, it's hilarious because he has the same metrics as Kenneth Murray. So I don't know. I think that's gonna go linebacker. I think we're gonna take Jacob Rodriguez. We've been connected to him so much. It's just very hard to ignore at this point. Keyshawn Elliott's still here. Gary Newsmeyer. You see, look, Derry Moore. But this is, but thankfully, this is why I didn't take a linebacker, a corner. Malik Muhammad is here at 92. I love this draft already. Caleb Downs, Jacob Rodriguez, Malik Muhammad. If that was my if that was my first 3 rounds from the draft, Dallas is moving in the right direction, and I'd feel so much better. I also am so confused why Derek Moore is still here, but um, interesting. I mean. You take the best player available, right? I'm just gonna go Tyler Onion him. Essentially, if you don't know who he is, he's 6'3", 292. He is a three tech, so 48 tackles, 8 TFLs, impressive 4.7 TFL percentage in the run defense. So he could again, he could be somebody that could be right next to Kenny Clark and Quinnen Williams and really help with the run defense. Look, respectable run defense floor and immediate. Yep, this is exactly why a lot of people love Anya Dim. Yeah, that's why because of the Moro Jomo comparison. But I mean, it's safety, linebacker, edge. I mean, but Dallas does need an edge, so I wouldn't be surprised if they reach for Dami Tucker here again or Max Llewellyn. Because if you guys don't know who Max Llewellyn is, he's 6'6", 260. Um, it's insane. He was productive. Like both Nadami Tucker and Llewellyn were productive for their respective colleges and everything like that. Overton is also really good. Igzy, man. So I wouldn't be surprised if also Dallas drafts Overton here at 112. So well, we'll see what happens. But Caleb Downshot, Jake Rodriguez, Malik Muhammad. There you go, an A minus. I'll take that. You know, like this is something that I would entertain. I think out of all three drafts that I just did, the trade up to the Browns pick feels more right because if I mean even if the Giants take Caleb Downs, Dallas can draft Sonny Styles, Ruben Bain. You know, they're just gonna draft whoever is high on their board, and I just don't know who is high on their board and everything like that. So I guess we'll find out, especially within a week and 2 days, so 9 days from now. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I know I've been talking kind of melodic and everything like that, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm hoping to get a few of my guys on here, just talking ball and everything like that, and we'll entertain the idea of what other teams might need. So we'll see. I'll put my guys' knowledge and ball knowledge to the test. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. You guys have a good night, and you'll probably be seeing this Wednesday, so a day after the video. So yeah, hope you guys have a good night. Thank you for watching again. Peace.